Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the English news from Djibouti channels. Here are the top issues for our editions. Departure of the head of state to destination of Tunisia. Minister of the Interior participated in Geneva the 69th sessions of Executive Committee. On continental news, Saudi transfer to 200 million to the Central Bank of Yemen. That were our top story. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, left today in the early afternoon the country town of the city of Tunis, capital of Tunisian Republic, where at the invitations of the counterpart Beji Aid Essebsi, he will pay an official visit of 48 hours in this country. This official visit by the President Guelleh to Tunis will be marked above all by the meeting at the summit with his Tunisian counterpart at the Palace of Carthage, the Tunisian presidential palace. They will discuss the ways and means to further promote and develop the relations of friendship and cooperation between the two countries, and the two people will be at the heart of the discussions between the two leaders. The working hearing between the two presidents will lead to a series of bilateral agreements. In addition to the Tunisian president, the Djiboutian head of state will also meet in Tunis with the main other political authorities in this country, including the Prime Minister, Mr. Yusuf, and the President of the Assembly, Mr. Mohammed. But the current visit of the President Guelleh to Tunis is far from setting a general framework of cooperation between the two countries. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, will pay an official visit in Tunis following an invitation from his counterpart. A strong multi-sectoral delegation of Djiboutian businessmen will accompany the President. An extended meeting between the two heads of state will be held in the presence of the two official delegations, followed by a signature of series of bilateral agreements in the presence of the two heads of state in several fields. On the sidelines of this official visit of the Djiboutian #1, the Tunisian Djiboutian Economic Forum will be held at the headquarters of Tunisian Union of Industry, Trade and Craft, with the participations of the head of the government. This forum, organized by ETICA and the Tunisian African Business Council, aims to consolidate the two partnership of the two countries and to boost the economic relations between businessmen from both countries. It should also be noted that a high-level delegation will be among this visit. The President of the Republic include the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Minister of Higher Education, as well as the Minister of the Trade. In addition to long-standing links of exchange and cooperation, the two nations have long time maintained a privileged partnership in a number of key sectors. The two countries had in the 1980 very active in the field of primary and secondary education, and have clearly refocused their collaboration on strategic partnership in the field of higher education. The Minister of Foreign and International Cooperation, Mr. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, the Minister of Higher Education and Research, Mr. Nabil Mohammed Ahmed, and the Minister Delegate to the Minister of Economy and Finance in charge of Trade, Tourism and Formalizations, Mr. Hassan Mohammed Ibrahim, accompany the President in this official visit to Tunisia. The President of the Ambassador of Djibouti in Tunisia in residence in France, Mr. Ayed Moussaidin, in interview agreed on the national television affirmed the good historical relations between the Republic of Djibouti and the Tunisia Republic. During this visit, several cooperation agreements will be signed between the two parties, and the President will meet his senior Tunisian officials. Also note the President within the delegation accompanying the President of the Republic in Tunisia, a member of the government, including a business men mainly of Djibouti Tunisian economy, to participate Djibouti Tunisian Economic Forum that he will hold co-lead with the Prime Minister of this country, Mr. Yusuf. The Djiboutian private sector will be widely represented in this Djibouti Tunisian Economic Forum, notably by the President of the International Chamber of Commerce of Djibouti, Mr. Yusuf Moussa Dawale, and some 20 Djiboutian businessmen and women accompanying the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, at this trip in Tunisia. A strong delegation led by the Minister of Interior, Mr. Hassan Omar Mohamed, moved in Geneva, the capital of Switzerland, to take part in the 69th session of the Executive Committee of the UN High Commission of Refugees. This strong delegation included, in addition to the Minister of the Interior, the Executive Secretary of UNARS, Mr. Hussein Hassan Darar, and the Ambassador of Djibouti in Switzerland, Mrs. Khadra. The Minister of the Interior gave a speech in the Assembly, recalled the commitment honored by the Republic of the President of the Republic of Djibouti with regard to the integration and inclusion of refugees in the health, education, as well as the civil system, in keeping with the promise made by the President of the State, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh. The funeral of the young Mahado has taken this morning in the city of the Great Cemetery, Gohara, in the national city. Several members of the government have taken part in this burial, among figure the Minister of Communication, Charge of Positions and Telecommunication, Mr. Abdi Yusuf Sugi, as well as the Minister of Labor, Mr. Hassan Idris Samriya, Delegated Deputy Minister of Decentralization, Hamad Mohamed Aramis, and many parliamentarians of the region of Ali Sabih, authorities of the prefect of the Ali Sabih region, the President Regional Council, the prefect of Dikhil and Ashta, as well the Ashta Jog or population have mobilized in this to participate in this event. Always in the context of strengthening the capabilities of the Semir, the Minister of Health, Mr. Jama Al-Mu'akiyya, has proceeded the delivery of 7 new ambulances that include to 16 the number of operational ambulances to ensure activity of medical transport in the capital and her periphery. The granting of these new and completely equipped vehicles is part of the strengthening of the capacities of this unit to meet the exponential demand of medical transport services. This strengthening is intended to reduce the interventions period and improve the quality of global and medical first aid healthcare. The Minister of Habitat and Environment had organized today a workshop for upgrading and sharing the knowledge of national actors on sustainable development. This subject about sustainable development has become an issue which is also concerned with the international community and expert government societies. Our Republic of Djibouti is a country awareness of the major environmental challenges of oceanic and continental water pollution, climate change, and desertifications are issued in rational management. More than 40 people from different ministers to debate and achieve several objectives on sustainable development. And now let's move on continental news. King Salman had ordered the transfer of 2 billion to the Yemeni central bank to address the deteriorating economic situation. For more details, let's follow this report. And that it's kind of help from Saudi to their brothers in Yemen. France seized assets belonging to Iran's intelligence services and to Iranian national in responses to a June plot to attack an exiled Iranian positions group rally outside Paris, the government said on Tuesday. Here we finish our news. Thank you for watching us. Goodbye.